West Ham United head to West London on Wednesday night in what is a massive game for the club, with Nottingham Forest having to take the trip to Man City and Spurs not playing until Thursday evening. It's another opportunity for West Ham to apply the pressure to the teams in this relegation battle after a bewildering defensive performance at Anfield on Saturday. The Hammers need to respond. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial Match Preview. West Ham versus Fulham. Mike is with me. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Jolly good. Saturday was confusing. We weren't actually too bad, to be totally honest. And I stood there thinking, how on earth are we 3-0 down at half time? But just defensively, we were so poor and it cost us in the end. We can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, hopefully we just got all our blunders out of the way in one game, I mean, we never get any luck at Liverpool, do we? 3 deflected goals, it's say no more. We never seem to get much luck up there, but hey, I never expected us to get anything anyway, like out of the 11 games that we had left, I said there's 4 of them we ain't going to do nothing in. And now, we've got to pick those other 7 games out and try and win 5 of them, but it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because the games are running out in that sense where there's 10 games left. Fine. I mean, we're clinging on at the moment purely because of the incompetence of the other teams around us, and we seem to sit here every Sunday and hope for Forest and Spurs to lose. And at the moment, that is what's happening. But at some stage, maybe this week, maybe next week after the FA Cup, they're going to pick up points eventually. And Spurs have got a massive game at home to Crystal Palace. And speaking to Sean on the Roundup show last night, he's got no confidence in them picking up anything. But all 3 fan bases at the moment think they're going to go down, or there's a portion that think they're going to go down. So there's not a lot of confidence in any of the 3 clubs. You'd like to think that Forest aren't going to get anything at the Etihad, but with the way this season is going, who knows, Mike?
Never know. I just can't predict the result. I'll tell you, my Super Six thing, I just get everything wrong, I might as well just think of something stupid and put it down because, I'm having an absolute nightmare on it.
But think of something stupid like Burnley 3, Brentford 4 or something.
Yeah, something silly like that. Who the hell would ever put that down, It's a joke, really. But, mate, it really is a must-win game.
Especially when you look at the games we've got coming up. We've got Man City at home and then followed by a trip to Aston Villa. I mean, Aston Villa are hitting a rocky patch at the moment, but still they're a decent side. But I think the sort of teams that you're coming up against is almost a little bit irrelevant this season because it's proven time after time that anyone could beat anyone. Wolves beating Villa, Wolves taking a point off of Arsenal. So in effect, it's more about how we perform, and the opponent is irrespective of it, particularly because there's no fantastic teams out there.
Exactly. I mean, let's face it, we've never been to Anfield and had 50-odd% possession ever. I can't remember us ever doing that in my lifetime. So,
it was just the big moments, Mike. It was the big moments.
Not great. They're not great. No. They were there for the taking. We just had a bad day defensively. And a bit of bad luck. I mean, the own goal was bad luck. The double deflection that took it into the corner was another bit of bad luck. And I think Hermanson would have got the other one if Wan-Bissaka hadn't got his head on it.
Got his head on it, yeah.
So it was... Yeah, I mean, so we 3 stupid goals to give away, but you need a bit of luck at times, and we just never seem to get any up there.
No, we don't. Not at all. Good evening to you all. Colin, thanks for joining us. Hope you're well. Dad, hope you're well. Terry, thanks for joining us. I hope you've recovered after spending the weekend with me.
Spending was probably what he did a lot of.
Spending. That's comment of the night, Mike, right there. Spending, yeah, probably. He's probably recovering is what he's done today.
Yeah, that's
right. But, Terry, I hope you are well. Sharky as well, thank you for joining us. Damien, big game, gents. Biggest of the season, I'd say. Yeah, I mean, it's massive, isn't it? With the games we've got coming up, it feels monumental, Mike. And Fulham, again, have always been inconsistent, but everybody is this season, so it makes no odds. They beat Spurs on Sunday, but Spurs did nothing special. It didn't look like they were anything special either. So it's a toss of a coin, isn't it?
Absolutely, I think so. Yeah, it's just whoever's up for it on the night and whoever's going to turn in a decent performance. If we play to our best and Fulham are off it a little bit, we'll win the game, full stop. But if we're not at our best, we are not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah. I thought the defensive mistakes were a concern on Saturday, a really big concern. I thought we'd buried those errors and they resurfaced from corners and just in general play as well. They were all poor. The back four, none of them were particularly good. Wan-Bissaka had a poor game. Juve had a poor game. The centre backs struggled to deal with the threat of Liverpool, and it was simple, basic things that's got to be sort of sorted out quickly, Mike, because we can't afford to be making those silly errors in situations in games like this when pressure's really on.
Yeah, I mean, we had been looking pretty sound, haven't we, defensively? The sort of 4 or 5 games before that, and then this happens, and you think, oh, go back to square one again. But hopefully, it's just a blip. If we can tighten up at the back and play like we did, then we've got a damn good chance. But yeah, it's a big if, isn't it? I mean, these corners. I mean, it's a joke now, isn't it? I mean, it's an absolute joke. It's just doing my head in. I mean, watching that game yesterday, Arsenal and Chelsea, it's like a rugby scrum.
It's becoming the central part of a football match, which is never what it's intended to do. That and throw-ins are almost becoming penalties for teams like Arsenal. And you mentioned that Arsenal Chelsea game yesterday. I mean, that was a handball from Declan Rice to start with on one of the corners, just not given. And then Raya punches one of the Chelsea players. Areola did the exact same thing the other week, and a penalty was given, and it wasn't given. And they're becoming the storyline of the match. It's corners, and again, you could say the same at Anfield on Saturday. They had 3 corners in a row, and instead of putting Disasi or Mavropanos or Souček onto Virgil van Dijk, we decided to put Magassa or Bowen onto him. That's ridiculous. And then we didn't learn our lesson because in the second half they come down our end, and Bowen's marking Van Dijk.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's them simple, basic things which are costing us. And going to Fulham on Wednesday, where they're a side that can put in a decent performance on the Sunday and then be poor on the Wednesday, that's just who they are and what they do. That's why they finish 12th every year. So we've got to capitalise and we've got to win. It is the definition of a must win. With the games we've got coming up, it's 3 points or bust, Mike, I feel.
Yeah, I feel that if we don't get something out of this game and a bit of confidence from a decent performance, if you look at the next fixtures, I just can't see any hope. Then I'm afraid I can't see us getting out of it then. But this, like I say, is such a big game. If we do actually get something out of it and put in a good performance, the two of them, we need the two of them together. I mean, the result is the most important. So yeah, a ball going off someone's bum would be fine, but also play well to give them confidence to go into these next 3 more difficult games. To be honest, if we don't do it Wednesday night, I feel that it could be the writing on the wall.
Absolutely, and each fan base is saying that, not as much Nottingham Forest because of the game that they've got, but they felt that was a missed opportunity at Brighton yesterday, and you feel Tottenham is saying the same thing in a sense of if they don't get anything, then they look like they're resigned to it. My issue with it is that they're standing still, but we're also standing still, and we're 2 or 4 points less than them. One positive from playing Fulham is hopefully we can leave Adama Traore there and they'll have him back, because he's a player that again came on Saturday and just looked, I mean, I don't like to criticise players and single them out, but he looks so out of his depth, Mike, and he looks so what's the word, just not pointless, but his purpose wasn't there, and he looked like a player well past his sell-by date.
To be honest, mate, I just couldn't see the sense in signing him, full stop. He hasn't played much for Fulham, has he? I've seen him come on for Fulham and do absolutely nothing, I think, he's at the end of his career, isn't he? And I mean, Nuno probably he had him when he was still a very good player, and he's not that player anymore. I don't think, to be totally honest. Championship is probably just about his level, I reckon, at the moment. And we got a lot of players who probably are that level at the moment. So yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult to bring him on because what's he going to bring? Do you know what I mean? You know,
exactly.
Bowen's struggling for a bit of form, but you almost can't afford to take Bowen off because he's still likely to get you that goal. You know, he's still likely to, you know, beat a couple of players, come inside and smash it in the corner. I don't see Traore doing that sort of thing, but I hope he proves me wrong, and he does.
Yeah, there was a lot of damning points on Saturday. The defending, Traore's performance, the way we handled the game. It was also Jarrod Bowen's performance, and I feel like we need to mention it. One thing I will say is I made a comparison during the game. I thought Bowen's performance was identical to Salah's performance, to be totally honest, because they both got the ball on their flank and they looked predictable in what they were going to do every single time. Salah's done it for 10 years in the Premier League. He's going to get the ball, and still defenders seem oblivious when he cuts inside. I mean, he's done it for years. Salah looked, didn't look a threat. Bowen didn't look a threat. How do we get confidence back in to Jarrod Bowen? Is it a case of leave him alone and back his ability because he clearly has it, or does he need to be taken out of the spotlight potentially in the FA Cup next week? What do you think is the solution to this? Because again, he was very poor on Saturday.
Yeah, I just think he's going for a run of lacking confidence, full stop. But he is one of the 2 or 3 players that can turn it on and win a game for us. So we just got to keep playing him, I think. We got no choice, Jake. I don't think. Maybe against Brentford, you might be able to leave him on the bench. They didn't even take him to Burton, which is understandable. But Brentford would be a different cup of tea. So, yeah, maybe needs a bit of a rest. Like I say, take the limelight off him a bit. But, but we cannot afford to not put him out there because of what he can do.
And it's not for the want of trying from Jarrod, and he ran his balls off on Saturday. He absolutely and I could tell when he came over at the end, he looks half of the man that he was last season. He looks like a player that just cannot muster anything, and it was one of the really damning things on Saturday. You look at this situation, and I'll be honest, Mike, I think Wednesday's a flashpoint. I think it's gonna be a really big moment. The fans have been excellent in recent weeks, and they were excellent on Saturday. There was real belief before the game, and that was sort of shuddered after the goal 5 minutes in. But the fans have been excellent. But I'm sensing some real frustration coming with everything that happened on Saturday, more off the pitch than on the pitch. There was a lot of angry people knocking about, and it's all unravelled afterwards about the protests and everything else. And with the accounts that came out on Friday as well, there's a lot of things that are coming out. The fact Karen Brady had a £35,000 pay rise in the last year, up to nearly 1.5 million per year. There's a lot of things that are angering the fans, and they've been devoted to the players and supporting them till the very end. And I'm feeling if it goes wrong on Wednesday, then there's going to be a real reaction. It's not going to be pretty, Mike. It feels like we're reaching sort of the end of a cliff in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, if we go down, I think that would be the end of them, but it will be catastrophic for the club, really. Don't get me wrong. It wouldn't upset me immensely because I'm that disillusioned with the Premier League and these flipping rugby style flipping corners and VAR and plastic fans. I mean, all of it, I'm disillusioned with, to be totally honest. But for the club, as on a whole, if we go down, it'd be a disaster.
Yeah. I mean, listen, what we heard from the accounts effectively on Friday was, we're gonna have to sell players, whatever. But if we go down, it's going to be painful. I think it's going to be painful either way. And that people are starting to wake up. There was an excellent article by the Observer over the weekend, and George Sims said, you have to question what Sullivan gets out of maintaining control of West Ham, loathed by fans and unwilling to change. There's been, there's been unrest for years, but it's really ramped up over the last 6 months. And as I stand there at Anfield and the resentment and disregard for him, and he's still remains resolute to it. And if we go down, then it's going to be painful, Mike, and we need to muster something up that is going to prevent that. But between the pair of them, Brady and Sullivan, it's reaching a cliff edge.
It's if we go down, it's really bad for them as well. It's bad for the whole club. I mean, you might be able to, you got more chance of selling a club when in the Premier League, but when you're in the Championship, selling it to the right person and getting the right money probably won't happen. So, yeah, I mean, it's been mismanagement for many years now, mate. And I mean, you only got to look at the smaller clubs, the likes of Brentford, Fulham, Brighton, Bournemouth. That they've been managed so well, behind the scenes that they just punched above their weight. We're punching well below our weight, full stop. As West Ham fans, we don't expect us to be named as one of the so-called big six, which is a load of baloney anyway. We expect to be, the wages we pay, in the position we are, still a big club. We should be at least halfway up that Premier League competing. We shouldn't be hovering around the relegation zone for 3 or 4 years in a row, just scraping through, because eventually teams that do that are going to go down.
With all due respect to the name, to the clubs I'm about to name, we should be better than Brentford. We should be better than Bournemouth, Brighton. These sides, we're an established Premier League side, maybe not for too much longer. And my fear is that we're just slowly watching the games wither away. And if you go down, you deserve to go down. Whichever team that does go down this season, they thoroughly deserve it, because it's 3 incredibly poor football teams on the surface of it, who cannot do the basics right. In every sense, really, but it's just who can pick up those points and who can just about get there. And how much longer are Forest and Spurs going to stand still with the games we've got coming up? Just feels like who can be the better of a incredibly bad bunch. And whatever happens at the end of this season, whether it's relegation or whether it's survival by the skin of our teeth, a post-mortem and significant change is required. Otherwise, we're just going to find ourselves in the same situation next season, Mike, aren't we?
Yeah. Most definitely, mate. If we do scrape and stay up, unless we have some big changes, just going to do the same again next year.
Yeah. So Fulham, as we mentioned, Mike, are a side that are inconsistent. They were decent on Sunday against Spurs. They kind of impressed me. How do you evaluate our chances? We're fighting. That's what I'm going to say. Is the team is fighting. So we need to see that fight, and that fight needs to be matched by quality and defensive, capability, really, in that sense. How much hope are you lofting onto us for Wednesday night?
I'm not hoping. No, I haven't got a massive amount of hope, really, to be totally honest. I've been to Fulham and seen us get turned over. I've been to Fulham and I've seen us win, but to be honest, the fight is not gone. So while we've got that fight, there's a chance. There's a chance we can get something, and we can get enough points to get ourselves out of this mess. But as soon as that fight goes, there's no chance. And I honestly thought when we lost 3-0 to Wolves that day, that, you know what I mean, there was no fight there that day. There was nothing. No one had anything inside of them. And I thought, that's it. I thought we were gone then. But then all of a sudden, we turn it around with 3 or 4 decent results. And yeah, it might look like a battering 5-2 at Liverpool, but it wasn't. You know that, Jay. It wasn't that bad. We did keep fighting. And as long as the fans, especially, stay behind the team, they will keep fighting, and we got a chance.
I think you're absolutely right. The stark difference between a 3-goal defeat to Wolves and a 3-goal defeat to Liverpool was massive, actually. I think, from the start of the month, where you're absolutely right, Mike. I mean, I was at Wolves and I was at Liverpool, and the performances are worlds apart, to be totally honest. And we're not great now, but we were diabolical that day. And I said outside to Nicky afterwards, I said, there's no way we stay up. If we do stay up, I will be amazed after that run that we had post
Yeah,
Christmas, because it was dreadful. And if we can worm our way out of it, it will be incredible. But they're fighting. We were 3-0 down on Saturday, and even teams that weren't fighting relegation from West Ham years gone by would have folded then. I think we'd have folded under Moyes, to us, as we did up there and lost 5-1
we did.
a
Yeah,
couple of years ago. They didn't fold. We got a goal back, as we rightly deserved as well. And there was a couple of moments where we could have got back into the game. There was a chance at 3-1, then there was actually a chance at 4-2 that Somerville had with 10 minutes to
yeah,
go to make it 4-3. So we fought to the very end, and that is what I applauded at the end. And quite a few did stay to applaud
yeah,
the players, because it was a shift, and yeah, the defenders let themselves down, but we didn't give up. And that's what Nuno and this Paco bloke, I believe, have instilled into this team. We are not going to give up.
yeah.
And they don't know when they're beaten, because they were beaten at 3-0 at half time on Saturday, but they kept going. And that was commendable, Mike.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, the fight is still there, and it should be when you got people like Souček and that out there, because to my mind, he's the proper leader in that team. It's going to take everyone. I mean, to be, to make themselves more of a leader and get this fight back into the team. I think. Do you know what? One of the problems is we've missed Pablo. We've missed him more than I thought we'd miss him, because he sort of like went that 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1, whatever you want to call it. And that's when things started to turn. And you know what? We've missed him the last couple of games big time, because he is a presence, and he puts himself around, as well as Tatty putting himself around as well. You've got two guys up top there causing problems, and then you've got Bowen on the wing doing what he wants to do, playing in his natural position, and you got Somerville on the other wing, and we've just, it seemed to click when we had that formation.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. I mean, there is no coincidence.
A lot more than I even thought.
Yeah, there's no coincidence that Pablo hobbled off at Burnley, and we haven't won a football match in the Premier League since. He not only improved, the way we looked, he improved Tatty, he improved Bowen, he improved Somerville. He improved the whole dynamic of the midfield and attack, in that sense. And all right, he's not the most technically gifted footballer, but he ran himself about, and it was contagious, really contagious. And I'm not sure, why Wilson didn't come on Saturday, whether he was saved for Wednesday potentially, is my only justification, because Terry said it in the chat, not sure why Wilson didn't come on. He was warming up at half time, and he came down after an hour and did a bit of a rigorous warm up, and we didn't see him again. So that was bizarre. So my only sort of suggestion is maybe he's going to go with Tatty and Wilson on Wednesday, which I'd be a fan of, because we've missed that two up front, which teams didn't know how to deal with it, Mike, did they?
No. Since we went to that formation, you're right, Jake. Teams are going, oh, hang on a minute, we've got two flipping players to mark in here now. And you're sort of pulling the centre half out of position as well. Because if one of them's dropping a little bit deeper, and then you've got those two bombing down the wing, it's giving problems to defenders. I honestly, there's no point messing about now. We've got to go for it. There's no point going there playing defensively, hope to snatch a breakaway goal or whatever. We just got to go there and go for it.
Absolutely, yeah. And one thing I think we should discuss. I mean, defensively we were poor on poor on Saturday. One thing I did notice at half time, so for some reason, I mean, Bowen must have won the toss and thought they'd get in his head. They attacked the Kop in the first half, which is not typically what they do. So we attacked our own half, our own end in the first
Yeah.
half. When they came out for the second half, Hermanson came over and he almost put his hand up to apologise at half time that we conceded 3 goals in the first half. He put his hand up and clapped us as if to say this is not over, but that was sort of my fault. He's come back in for Areola, but he didn't do himself any favours on Saturday. Do you think he goes back to Areola, or do you think he sticks with Hermanson on Wednesday?
No, I think he'll stick with Hermanson. I really do. The first goal, he sort of got wrong-footed, didn't he, when he stuck it in at the near post. But I'm hardly blaming for him for any of the other goals. Maybe Van Dijk, he wasn't picked up. Like I say, we put Magassa on him, which was a mistake. And the other bit from the corners, we quite often don't concede directly from corners. It's the second phase. It bounces back in, and then because we never clear it far enough. And if we do clear it far enough, we got no one there to pick it up anyway.
Because all 11 are in the box because we never leave anybody up. Yeah,
exactly. And that allows them to bring another one into the box anyway. So why not just push another one up and take one more of theirs out of the box? It does my head in, honestly. I say, look, if we clear this corner now, where's it going? Straight back to them, and they'll get it back in the box again.
But it's no coincidence. Every game we're at and every corner there is, if we clear it, everybody screams, get out, because there's nobody there to pick the ball up. And I mean, what a contrast to Chelsea in the Carabao Cup last month, who left 3 men on the halfway line at a corner. And even Arsenal, the kings of corners, they looked rattled by it. They didn't really know what to do because they had to leave 3 up, which meant they didn't look as good from a. It was risky from Rosenior, but I thought it was genius against Arsenal like that. I mean, we don't even leave 1 up. They left 3
we
up.
Never, ever leave 1 up. And I would just say, right, push 1 up. That stops 1 less coming in the box. And also, if we get it out, if we clear it, got a chance of at least someone competing with their defenders so they can't get an easy ball and loads of time to get it back in again. You know, you're just giving them time and space to get another decent ball back into the box. And for me, it just does my head in, Jake, honestly. Throw-ins that go backwards all the time. And the fact that we never leave anyone up from a corner, from when we defended, after we defended a corner. Honestly, those stupid little things, I know, but it does my head in. Every time we look at it, I just don't understand this.
Yeah.
And Wan-Bissaka on the post.
It's something that is really. I mean, we got back and watched Match of the Day on Saturday night, and we were speaking about it. It's gone out of fashion putting a man on the post, both posts. I mean, it used to be every corner. You know this more than me. Every corner there was 2 men on posts, and it would save so many goals. So many goals.
Absolutely. I always took 1 post when I played. I was a fullback, all right, or a centre midfield, but I always took 1 post. And we always, and maybe sometimes not the near post, but always someone on the back post.
Back post.
If you got a chance, if it does drop there, you got a chance to clear it.
Yeah, and I think it's mental that we don't do it. The way you replace Pablo right now, if you want to play 4-4-2, is rotate Wilson and Traore in the spot next to Tati. I mean, that could be interesting. Traore's looked woeful on the wing. If you put him up near Tati, would that improve him? I don't know. But I mean, I'd be going with Wilson to start with because Wilson hadn't really done much wrong and he's sort of not been seen for a while. So I'd be putting Wilson up there with Tati because Tati can play again. He runs his socks off and he'll be just fine. And I mean, there's no coincidence that Tati's performances have reduced in quality since Pablo's also gone. They're almost like a buy one, get one free package with quality. So if you put Wilson up there with him, then I think we instantly improve. All right, we might lose something in midfield or whatever. Maybe I think it's Magassa probably the one that's going to miss out because we can't drop Souček because of the goals. He just scores goals. And there's not many goals in this team at the moment. Whatever you do, Juve drilled that ball on Saturday and somehow Souček got a foot on it. Whatever happens, Souček scores goals. So he needs to be there. Fernandez needs to be there. So, I mean, the temptation is, do you take Magassa out for Wilson and go for it, Mike?
I would, mate. because, like I say, the games are getting fewer and fewer and fewer. We needed some 3 points. If we go there and get a point, it'd probably be a decent point, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. We'll have to take risks to get wins, and that's the sort of risks you got to take, I'm afraid. I mean, honestly, there's not many options for us. You look on Saturday, I think there was basically defenders on the bench.
Yeah. Oh, I see it. We're down to the bare bones because, well, I mean, I was thinking because Magassa got a yellow card on Saturday and he made a second challenge. I thought, and then I said to Terry, I was like, who have we actually got on the bench? Midfielders, mind. Well, we sold all our midfielders in January, so there was nobody left there to bring on apart from Conte. Potts, who was out suspended. There's no other midfielders. So, I mean, that's another debate in terms of, you know, how we handled the January transfer window. That's definitely another debate for another day. But but it feels like, again, Magassa didn't have his best game. Got a stupid yellow card for pulling a shirt back. And then you look to the bench and you see Conte there, who's looked out of his depth in the, you know, in the games that he's played. And that's not his fault. You know, he shouldn't be our backup midfielder as an established Premier League team, not for much longer. So that's another issue that we have. Damien says, I like Wilson. Would have loved him a few years ago, developed more respect and admiration for him since he's been a natural goal scorer, and he's always put a shift in as well. I mean, they used to have the joke with Antonio and all that podcast and all the rest of it, but I think he's actually been quite hard done by in the last few weeks because I thought scored the goal against Tottenham, came on and scored within 90 seconds. We haven't really seen him since. I think he played the Burton game, didn't he? Did he play the Burton game?
Yeah, he might have played the Burton game.
Yeah, but none of them were good that day. So,
yeah, but I've got to be honest. He is a proper centre forward. Give him chances. He came on against Bournemouth, didn't he? And he had 2 shots in the first couple of minutes he was on the pitch. You know, the first one was it the one he flicked in the near post. He was unlucky where the keeper made a decent save. He got himself in another position to have a shot. He knows where the back of the net is. He's a proven Premier League goal scorer, and that's what we need at the moment. That's what we need.
Absolutely, for sure. 6 more of your comments. That's the temptation. I'm sure that's what Nuno would be looking at. Starting a 4-4-2 or go 4-2-3-1, and then change it. We've got to go for it in this sense. You know, as we mentioned earlier, Mike, we're in a position now where we just have to go for it because what's there to lose? Essentially, this is a game that we need to win, so we need to leave it all out there. In that sense, lean on the like button if you can. Helps to tell them what poor old Jake needs the money to cover the crazy ticket prices in the Championship next year. Absolutely, 45 quid for an away ticket in the Championship next year, Mike. It's going to make me bankrupt.
That's the only downfall. I looked at that. I thought that's an absolute joke. You know,
but
with
all
the pluses, without
the
VAR and all the rest of the other things that I said earlier. That is the one,
But the issue with it is that they change for each team. So you know what we'll do? We'll charge them all flipping 40 quid, and then they'll charge us 40 quid. We're not going to go, you know what, have it for 20 quid, lads. Sullivan's going to charge, if he's still here, Sullivan's going to go, oh, I can get 45 quid out of these idiots here. So he's going to charge that, and then they're going to go, well, you can have it back for 45 quid.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Not right.
Yeah.
Not right. Regarding the bench, we had Todibo, Kilman, Walker-Peters, Scholes and Mayers. Why not replace Mayers on the bench with a more attack-minded player from the under-21s? Because there's no other attacking options on the bench. I agree, 100%, you know.
Jala would be the one, and Preston Fearon, I suppose. But, you know, Fearon's been playing well lately in the under-21s.
Yeah.
That's the only options. I mean... well, obviously Marshall's out on loan. Cummins doesn't even start for the 21s that often.
Murphy's out on loan. I mean, we sent everybody out basically. We just thought, right, we'll leave ourselves with the bare bones, which is ridiculous. But anyway, listen, Mike, it's a big game. We know that it's a must-win game. I think you're not very confident, but I think you're going to predict this to win because you think we need to win. So I'm going to go 2-1 to West Ham. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, I was hoping we'd scrape a 2-1. I've got to be honest, I can see it finishing as a draw at the best, and that won't be good enough, I'm afraid. That just will not be good enough. I mean, you got to look at our goal difference as another point as well.
Which is why we need City to thump Forest on Wednesday night as well.
Yeah, I mean, we messed it up on Saturday, making it 3 goals worse. We need to win 3 or 4 games, and we need to win them by a couple of goals, really, to start closing the gap. Admittedly, when teams lose and you win, it's like it's a big swing then. If we won 2-0 and Forest lost 2-0, you're talking a 4-goal swing, so it's not worrying at the moment, but it will be with the games running out.
Because it's another point on the board, essentially, when you get to it. So, yeah, we haven't done ourselves any favour there in that sense. But, yeah, I mean, it can easily be rectified. Heaven forbid, if City go and beat Forest 4-0 on Wednesday night and we even win 1-0, 5 goals.
5-goal swing, yeah.
5-goal swing. So, yeah, I mean, we've gone down and we've seen teams on the final day of the season need like a 9-goal swing or whatever. That's never going to happen. But it can switch around pretty easily. But I do agree with you. My heart is telling me 2-1, but my head is telling me 1-1. I just don't see us winning this football match. I really don't. I think they're going to be resilient and they're going to frustrate us, and I just can't. Yeah, I can't see it. I'm in agreement with you, but we need a response. Defensively, it needs to be shored up. That goes without saying, doesn't it?
But we also need a little bit of luck, which we've been pretty short of this year.
Absolutely.
We've had the odd bit here and there, but we've had so much more bad luck. It's unbelievable. So we need that. Play well, and get a little bit of luck as well. And you never know, we might get the 3 points.
Indeed. I mean, that's a good point. They played later than so Forest played on Sunday, and now they've got a trip to the Etihad at the same time as we play on Wednesday evening. So yeah, look, that helps us as well. And surely Forest can't get anything at City. Surely not. But there we are. We'll see.
Wouldn't be a shock, Jake, would it? It wouldn't be a major shock, would it? Not with all the results that we've seen this season. So yeah,
I mean, it would be awful in many ways.
Get our own house in order and get our result. Full stop.
It would be awful in many ways because it would give Arsenal a further advantage in the league, and it would not help us in the relegation battle. So it would be awful in every sense if Forest get something at the Etihad on Wednesday. Mrs. Noosh says 1-1. She also thinks that Iran are going to bomb Sudbury High Street within the week. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. And Mrs. Noosh also wants to know where 2 of her 4 cans of Thatchers have gone. I don't know really. Well, I mean, I was told that they could be drunk. So and then I was offered even more on Saturday, but I thought no, I better leave some there. But I'll have to replace them. Terry, I believe the words were, "Well, I'll just go and buy some more if you drink them." So I don't know. I don't know where they could have possibly gone. Maybe the cats had them. I mean, because I don't remember. I mean, Mike, when you open the fridge and there's Thatcher's Gold in the fridge, then and it's offered to you. What are you going to say?
Yeah, it'd be silly not to, I must admit, Jake. Silly not to.
Indeed. Right, some final thoughts, Mike. It feels significant. I think I'm going to be there on Wednesday night, and it's going to be, you can cut through the tension with a knife, I reckon.
I reckon it will be. Yeah, it will be squeaky bum all night long, I reckon.
And it's going to have the feeling of a final day of the season because everybody's going to be looking at their phones, looking at the Forest score as well, hoping on that. And then we're all going to sit down on Thursday evening, hoping for for Palace to do a job on Spurs. So yeah, it's going to be a nerve-wracking Wednesday and Thursday, isn't it, mate?
Afraid so, mate. Nothing changes.
Nothing changes. Nothing changes indeed. So a point's not good enough, is it really? Before we go, that is 3 points. So if we come out of there with a point, you're going to come on here and say that's it, Mike, or do you think we can cling on depending on other results?
With a point and Forest get battered by City, it's not the end. But that leaves us 8 games, of which 3 of them are really tough. And that leaves us realistically 5 games where we got to a realistic chance of getting something, and they might not be wins. They may be some draws and amongst that as well. So that will not be enough. Full stop.
Exactly. Yeah, and we'll have to start requiring 3 points at home to Arsenal and 3 points at home to Manchester City, which is just not a thing that you want to be needing as you enter the final stages of the season. But there's still plenty of twists and turns left. I'll be honest. I think if we lose on Wednesday, I think that's it.
I think if we lose,
I think it's curtains. Yeah, and of course it's dependent on other results. But I mean, even if we draw and Forest get something, I think then it makes it incredibly tough. And I just can't see Spurs losing again on Thursday. I cannot see it.
No. They'll start winning a couple of games here and there, and so will Forest. So, like I keep saying, it's down to us to, do the bizzo.
It is, absolutely. Well, we'll continue building up to this game. There'll be match day content on Wednesday. I'm already feeling a little bit nervous about it. And Terry says it, last game is versus Leeds, with it still in our own hands would be, I mean, imagine that place, Mike. You would need to buy me a fair few points on that day. If we need, we need to win.
Would you take that now? If we need,
oh yeah, without a doubt,
something against Leeds on the last day, I tell you, I definitely would.
Yeah,
I would definitely.
I mean, if it's in our hands, if it's we win, we stay up. I take that now.
Yeah, I would take that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it also falls on my lovely mum's birthday, so could be an awkward conversation, couldn't it? But there we are. There we are. If we
a nice little trip to the London Stadium.
Exactly. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. We're going to go to the biggest game in the last decade of West Ham. It doesn't get much better, does it, really?
No.
It doesn't get much better. I think we'll just wait for the response in the comments from downstairs, because I don't really want to walk downstairs with that being the last comment that we make. So yeah, I mean, Mike, you went to Fulham and we lost 5-0, so I hope you're staying well away on Wednesday.
I'm not going Wednesday, mate. No, not going. I am going. Next away game I'm going to is Villa.
Villa. Oh, there we go. Jolly good. Jolly good. We will see you at Villa. There you go. There's a pint for me. Jolly good. Hopefully it's less than £4.50 for a Coke, because I think that's the last thing I bought you, and I think it put me off, to be honest, at Chelsea. So yeah. I still feeling the pain of that to this day, but you're worth it, Mike. Don't worry, mate. See, you're worth it. Thank you very much, everybody, for getting involved in the chat. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you are new, and the final comment has got to be said. What do you think of Millwall side that are currently third in the Championship and facing and fighting for automatic promotion? Just imagine if we go down and they come up.
Oh, you can see it happening, mate. That'll happen. That's going to happen, because the Met Police have ordered it.
Indeed.
They've ordered it.
Yeah. Yeah. According to the song, Fernandez isn't too keen on Millwall. I mean, if we did face Millwall, then him or Souček would be my bets for a red card. I reckon they'd be well up for that one. Souček would just headbutt somebody because he loves it, doesn't he? That would be the police.
I'd bring back Thomas Repka and Julian Dix for that.
Julian Dix, yeah, absolutely. To be fair, Julian Dix will probably defend better than Juve did at the moment. So even at his age now, but there we are. But from us, come on, you irons. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat, and we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Keep the faith if you can, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.